everyone, and welcome to part 5 of the Art Impressions Valentine's Journal. We are nearing completion of this. It has been so much fun, and I think they're turning out great. So let me tell you what you're going to need to complete this page, and then we're going to go over and include this page also. So we're going to do all of these watercolor projects first, and once that's finished, we'll go on to assemble into our journal. So we're going to start out. I'm going to tell you what you need to do the watercolor projects, and then when we go to assemble our journal, I'll kind of explain more about the dies and everything that I'm using to assemble. So first of all, this little cupcake is from the Lovable Animals set. So this one right here comes with the die and easily cut out. So this little project here, this is from the new birthday set. This is 5722. And it is this little one right here. So this set comes loaded. These are all the balloons that we're using. This is just a great little set, especially for things like this. So in addition to that, we're going to need some flowers and foliages in here. So we're going to use one of these little trailing vines, this one right here. We're also going to use the foliage set 4. So these little vines right here. And then for a long stem, we're going to use this set. Now, I'm using these two, but you can certainly use any floral that's in this set. You can use any long stem. So be sure to keep that in mind when you're doing these projects. I'm just showing you how to put this one together, but you can certainly switch out anything that you want and use whatever florals and vines and foliages that you want. We're also using the flower set, the basic flower set. We're going to use the little filler flower right here. And then on the next page, we're going to use the little mini container set right here. Same florals and vines that we used before. And in this one, just one more thing, and that is the little branch from the branches set. And that is it for the watercolor. We are ready to get started on those projects. We're going to finish those up, and then we'll get them into our journal. So here we go. So you can see that I've pre-stamped my images onto my watercolor paper. Here is the little bird village, little birdhouse village. This little vase with the little piece of cake, and then my balloon and my little pot. So these are the images that are going to go onto the last 2 pages of the journal. So we are almost finished. Let's start out with the little village, and we'll set this one aside and come back to it. So we're going to start out, and by the way, I stamped in the same 2 colors. So the 565 first, the 969 second, and then stamp it off twice. Stamp it off twice. Be sure to do that because we're going to be adding some light colors to these little birdhouses. So the first thing we're going to do is, of course, just drag that color out of the lines so that we can get some 3-dimensional look into this little painting. So I'm just gonna, this is just the starting point with this. We're just kind of dragging this color out of the lines just to give us a little perspective. This little bird too, we're just gonna pull a little of the color out of him. And there's always a shadow underneath the roof lines. So you're always safe to do that. And anytime something is sitting on a perch like this, right underneath, that's gonna be pretty dark. So those are always pretty safe as far as, knowing where to put those shadows in. So let's start out by adding some color now. And I'm going to add some color now to my palette. Some warm brown. So the 947. We'll start with this one. And you know what? I'll just put these colors on here. The red. So the red is the 885. 885, the green, so the 249 green, 249 green, let's see, the dark blue, so the 565 dark blue, and I think, maybe the pink, so we need some pink, 743, so this is the pink. And we got some good colors going on here. So let's start adding some color to this little birdhouse. So we're going to start out and just go from left to right. So we're going to take some of this light brown and we're going to add it to this little roof. And there's some detail in here, so you want to stay in those sections. When you see these lines that are showing the detail, you want to just stay in each each section, and even if they're small, just stay in each section and do each one at a time. All right, let's see if there's any more brown here. So we've got some more brown on this last little roof here too. So we'll just brush this on. And if you want it a little darker, you can just make another pass and just do that. Also under here. Okay, let's move on. And we're gonna use two colors on, here, let's do the pink first. We're gonna do two colors on this little birdhouse. So we're gonna do a little pink up here at the top. And you know, they're so fun to color because you can color them out for the season. And they just change so much when you change your color palette. It's so much fun. And then let's do the bottom with the red. So just like that, and then we can just come around to the side also and get this area. And leave that little white stripe right in there. So let's continue on with the red, and let's do this roof right here. Do this little roof red. Leave a little highlight at the top. You know, it adds a little bit, you know, it makes it seem as if the light is kind of hitting the top of the roof. And we're just going to darken that a little bit. Make that roof a little darker. And let's go into the green. Let's go into the green, and we'll get this little roof done. That looks good. And let's leave this little house white. So in that case, we're going to need a little shadow back here. And just a little shadow under the roof, just like that. And this one, let's add some more pink here to this one. And we've got a really bright little bird village. Okay, while we're in the pink, let's just do this little door. Okay, it's starting to get bright. Let's go ahead now and we'll take the twin tone and we're going to darken in all the little windows and the little openings here. And it's just going to really make everything pop. Just darkening those areas. And I'm just using my brown twin tone. And you want to see the edge of the window. So let me hold this up so that you can see what I mean. See the edge of the opening here on all of these? You want to see that because that's how thick the wood is. If you color all the way over, you can't see the dimension. You would be seeing the edge of the opening. So you'd be seeing the edge of that wood right there. And so all of those little things really, really make a difference. And I'm just going to color in some of these little perches. Make these darker. And dark inside these little roofs. And let's just add a little shadow back in here. And I'm going to switch out my, my brush now to my small brush, my little one, my number 1, and add some detail. So I'm going to add some detail here to this little green roof. Just kind of follow those lines. And then I'm going to add some detail to this little house. And I'm following those lines. So this line kind of comes down this direction. And this line goes this way. So see how this one goes down this way and this one this way? Those are the lines that you want to follow. And then let's take some pink and we'll do something up here with the pink. Okay, it's starting to look really festive. I'm going to just darken this pink right here because this would kind of go back into the background a little bit, and this would be way darker back here. And also in here, we'd have just a little shadow in this little pink. And a little darker in here. And let's just put a little, let's just add a little blue, just a little shadow just right in here. Looks like that would just be a little darker. And then we can put a little overhang under this roof. Same over here. And let's just add a little detail onto this one. Okay, let's go on now to the little bird. We're just going to add a little brown to this little guy. He's really, really easy to color. You're just going to add a little color to his back and then whatever color you want on his little chest, his little belly. And we are going to use red. He'll just match perfectly with his little village. And we've kind of lost his eye, so we're going to go back in with the twin tone. And we're just going to darken that little eye and his little beak. And anywhere that you kind of want to show a darker, little darker area. So I'm going to put the little door handle back on here. I'm going to just darken this little perch. And then let's add some shadow right underneath these little posts, because this would be really, really dark under here. And let's put a little sky in the background. You know, make sure when you're doing the sky that you get enough water so that your color can move. And then just push it around. Like so. And now we can just add some foliage to it, and we're going to do that with the little branch, this one. And we'll just ink it with the dark green, so the 249. And you can do as much of this also that you want. You can use any foliage, any flowers, any vines, and just kind of grow this up like this. And then we're just going to add some of the leaves to it. Just use half of this little vine and just kind of at the end of the branches. So you're kind of just continuing on with the branch, with the little foliage. Okay, and now we're gonna add some water to it and just dab. Just the leaves. You don't need to do much with the branches. See, when you have these long branches that don't really have any leaves on them, just leave those alone because we want those to be pretty thin. If you add too much water to those, you're gonna kind of lose. You're gonna lose that branch look. Kind of lose that branch look, and they'll be too thick. I'm just going to come down here just a little bit with some blue, just to make these little posts look a little more rounded. And now we're going to come in with our little, our daisy stamp. And we're going to use the red with this, and we're just going to ink the little flowers and just leave them. And normally I don't do it this way, but sometimes it's really cute to do that. Normally I stamp it in a circle, but sometimes it's really fun to leave them kind of individual like that. And then I'm just going to hit each one with the water. Like so. And I'm going to go back over them because I want them to be really dark. And going back over them kind of changes the shape a little bit too, so they don't look like they are, like it's the same stamp. And I'm going to use my bullet tip and I'm going to make them even darker. Especially these ones that I kind of stamped over the green. And then just some little dots. Are always really cute. Okay, so let's add some white now to it. So I'm going to use my bleed proof white. And I'm going to use my little brush. And I'm just going to add a little bit of water and pinch it off. And I just take it right from the jar, just like this. And just add some little white flowers in here. Maybe a little white center. Just as much as you want to do. I just love the white in here. Anymore, I just always try to find a place to add some white paint because I just think it adds so much. And you can make a little, let's make a little decorative thing here on this one too. And maybe just some little dots on this one. Can make a little highlight on the edge of the roof. Up here. And just drag that down. So cute. And just really fun. Putting these little white centers in. I think that's really cute. I think that adds a lot. Okay, we are finished with this one. Let's go on to the next one. I'm going to set this one aside. And we're going to go on to the next one. But you know what? Before we do that, I need to sign it. So sign and date always. Sign and date that little guy. And let's go on to the next one. And that is this one, this little pot with the little cake. And then we've got this little pot and the little balloon. So these are really small, really fun, easy ones to do. So let's start out with the cake. And we're going to pull that color out of the lines. So we're going to get that three-dimensional look. We got a little cherry on top. And this little container, so cute. Just drag some of that color out. And then might as well just do that with the balloon right here. Well, it's right here. Just pull some of that color out and the little pot. Okay, so let's move on now. We're gonna add some color to the little cake. And let's start out with some pink frosting. And, you know, leave some white spaces because that's going to make it look like it's just really fluffy. And just color that in. Just keep dipping your brush, you know, pinching it off and going back over it again because that's how you're going to get it darker. You're going to get that darker, really rich color. And let's make this cake chocolate. So here's that warm brown. I'm just going to add this to that little cake. This would be a great little stamp for a birthday card too. Just a quick little simple one. And you can just add a candle to it so easily. And we've got our little cherry on top. So I want to leave a little highlight there. And if you miss the highlight, you can just always come back with it, come back to it with the red or with the white paint. You can catch it with the white paint. Okay, so where's my twin tone? Here's a twin tone. We're going to do the little stem. And then just underneath here with my twin tone and maybe just some little dots. And there's a little cherry. So let's add some detail now to the pot. We're going to leave it white, so we want to add just a little blue to the sides. Just a little bit. And then let's add some detail. How about a stripe? Perfect. Okay, and let's add some flowers to it. And we're going to do that with the little daisies. So let me just clean this off because I'm using a baby wipe because we just had it in the red, in the pink, and we're going to change out the color a little bit. So I'm just using a baby wipe and I'm just going to clean this off. And I'm going to use this dark blue. So the 565, I'm just going to ink this up and just get this kind of hanging over the top. And then we'll put some green in, some green foliage, like so, and then a little hanging vine, like this one. And we'll just hang that right on there, just like that. And let's just add a little more blue on the other side. Perfect. And now we can add the water. And this is where the magic starts. I just think everything kind of comes together when you add the water. It's so neat. And I've been doing this for so many years, and it just always feels like magic to me. We get to this part. And, you know, it's so forgiving. So when you think that you've stamped something and messed it up, you know, by the time you add the water to it, I mean, it's like, oh, wow, I guess that looks pretty good. And I'm going to add a little blue. So a little blue in the background. just like so. And then something tall in the background. We need a tall long stem like this little guy. So we're going to do this in red. So the red bloom and the red bud. And then the green stem. And let's just do that one more time. And let's just hang this one right off the side. And then when we add the water, the magic, and you can go back over it again with the red. So you can use your bullet tip and just really darken, you know, maybe the center and all around. These little buds. And then let's really darken this little cherry. And of course our white paint. So let's add a little bit of this just to our little bouquet. And I'm using my little brush. And we can just hit that little cherry and get that little highlight on there. And we can add some to the cake as well. Put a little white center in here. And we are good to go with this one. So I'm going to add just a little shadow just right next to the plate here and this little container. And that's really all we have to do with that. I'm going to sign it. And let's move on to these two little guys. These are the last ones that we have to do. And we're going to use that same flower with this little pot. It's just going to go in a little tiny circle, or not in a little tiny frame. So it's just, we're just going to make it really small. And we're going to make this little pot green. So darker on the edges, even for a small little container like this. You still want to keep those edges dark. And then a little stripe. And then let's add in our little florals. And I think I'm just going to use a little piece of Post-it tape. If I can find one here. You know what? Never mind. I don't have one at my I don't have one at my fingertips, so we're just gonna do it like this. So I'm gonna add my red to the bloom, and then green to the stem, and we're just gonna add in these little flowers like so. And if we stamp over the pot a little bit, easily washed out, just like this. And I'm just going to use my bullet tip again and really darken these little florals. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of foliage just to kind of fill up the pot a little bit. And then I can add just a little bit of water to it. So cute. And maybe just a little blue. Right next to it. Okay. And that is all we have to do with this one. So let's move on to the little balloon. And we are just going to color this one in with the red. So I'm going to need a little more red onto my palette. I'm going to add just a little more red onto here. And we're just going to color this whole thing red and leave a little highlight at the top. And when that dries, just go back over it again so you can get it a little darker. And that looks pretty good. So as soon as that dries, we'll just put a little detail on there. And maybe we'll just use a bullet tip for the red. And just make some little lines like that. And maybe just some little dots. Up here on the top. Okay, we are finished with these little projects. The next step now is to assemble them into our journal, and that will be coming up next. Okay, everyone, we finished up page 5, and now we were on the last 2 pages of the journal. So we're going to finish those up in this tutorial. And so we're going to start out by just gluing in our decorative pieces. And I just picked this little pink heart paper that's part of the paper pack. I just love it. It's so cute. And it's on the cover if it looks familiar. So I'm going to put it into the journal as well. And I'm just going to put it on both of these pages. Line that up so it's straight. And then on this side as well. Make sure those are even. That looks good. And there we are. We've got our 2 pages in. So cute. So cute. I love that. Here's our artwork that we finished. This little pot with the cake. So cute. And I just cut that to fit into this little frame. This is part of one of our newest frame sets, the little rectangle frame set. And it is so cute. Reminds me of a little Polaroid picture. And we're just going to glue this right into the center. And I just trimmed this to fit inside this frame. And that's going to go right over the top of it, just like that. So we can just glue this down. And glue this right in here. Maybe up just a little bit. And that looks good. All framed and so cute in here. Just love it. Now, I always like to include a pocket. Just because, you know, you might want to put a gift card or some little special, you know, tea bag or just, you know, something really cute as a special gift. So I am using this little envelope or pocket die that comes with the original set. And I'm just going to glue it right in here. Just right in the middle of my paper, my page, kind of down towards the end. And it's perfect for a little gift card. So if you want a special little Valentine's gift, maybe a gift card to, you know, like C's Candies or somewhere like that. That would be really fun to add in here. In my original journal, I just put in, I would have put, this is the size of a gift card, and you could just put it in there like that. You could tie a little note on it. I'm so thankful for a friend like you. Or you could put your own gift card in there. And I held out the little cupcake because I wanted to put it on this pocket. I just thought it would be so cute. This is one of the two that we made earlier. And I changed my mind and held it out instead of putting it on the center page. And I just think it just fits perfectly right here. And that's its new home. So it's going to go right there. And that is it for this page. We are finished with this page. So let's go on to the next one. And we're going to add in our decorative paper again. And I picked this heart. So cute. There's just so many things to pick from. I mean, honestly, it's kind of hard to pick, but they all go really well together. So it honestly doesn't matter what combination you pick. They're going to go. They're going to blend and they're going to go because they're really kind of made for a journal. You know, lots of different patterns, lots of different color combinations, and they're all made to kind of go together. So I've got this one in here like this. And then over on this side of the cover, I cut out my little bird village and just cut out a little circle. This is from the new circle set. So these are offset circles, and they are they're kind of the next step down from the stitched double stitched circles. So there are so many of these. They don't have the double stitched die or border on them, so they're really nested. There are a lot of them in this set. So I just cut this out. And I'm going to just put it onto, maybe this is right side, right into the center of the cover, just like that. And then I'm going to put my little birdhouses right in the center of that. And I think that just goes perfectly. Make sure those are straight so that it looks like they're not tipping. And that looks good. So now on this page, remember we made this little cute little pot with just a simple little floral in it. And I just cut, so this is the same die that cuts out the page. So see, just like this. And I folded it in half and it makes just the cutest little card size. And I just took this little frame and I'm just gonna glue it onto the front. Get my glue to come out here. Just a little bit on there and just glue it right in the center. And then my little picture will fit right inside. So I just used that die to cut out this whole thing. And then it cut out my picture separately. So this is one die. That's what I'm saying. This is one die. See how cute that is? Just in its little frame. And then you could, it's really pretty inside, so you can add just a little white piece of paper and you could write a personal note in there. And then I'm just gonna glue it to this page because I think that would be so cute. So we're just gonna glue it on here. Just right in here like this. And you could just write a little personal note in there, tuck something in there. You could tie a little bow onto it. I think this would be cute. Let's just tie this on here. Tie this on here. See if I can be coordinated enough to do that. Okay, there we go. That would be just so cute in here like that with the little decorative bow, and then you've got your little note inside that you can just open up, be really cute. And that is it for this. We have one more tutorial to finish up the back cover, and then our little journal is finished.